Right, the Nuki Bomb, how are you?
Yeah, good mate. Happy to be back.
We've just had a slog down from North Greenwich Station to a nightclub you've probably been to before.
Yeah.
In, what was it, Studio 328?
338?
338?
Yeah.
You see, you young people. Right, we're back here obviously because of a magnificent fight we had in Birmingham back in March. We're going to do it again 20th of July.
Yeah.
There was a period of time where you thought this might not happen for you, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a couple of weeks, maybe a month, I thought it's definitely not happening. So we started to plot and plan other options. But the stars aligned and a couple of moving parts fell into place, and here I am again.
Did it feel like the other options were promising or decent, or was this always going to be the best thing?
It's the best option. Yeah, I feel like it's the right thing to do. There's no other fight that I wanted more than this one. So,
in the weeks following that fight, you did 2 or 3 interviews. It looked like you did them all in one day or one afternoon, and it came across that you were feeling a little bit hard done by. Is that fair? It's fair comment.
Yeah, I'll say it's fair. There's various reasons for that. I feel some things on fight night were slightly unjust. And yeah, it's a bit of a pill to swallow. It was a strange one because I didn't feel like I had lost, but then I didn't have anything to show for winning. So it was a strange one for me. It was a new one for me. But the stars aligned again, and here we are, so we can do it again.
But did your view change between coming out of the fight, being disappointed with the draw and that, and watching it back on TV? Was there any difference in the feeling?
A little bit. Like you can sort of see, I want to say, like the propaganda a little bit, where you can see the narrative of the night, and it wasn't for me to do well. No ring walk was shown.
I want to tell you about the ring walk, just to interrupt. The night was running ridiculously late, and they were so up against it in terms of timings, they probably had to squeeze in an ad or something. I do have sympathy with them for that. I don't think it was a deliberate snub.
Yeah.
They weren't going to miss his because of 2,000 people there all singing Tom Jones. But I wouldn't say that was to sort of knock you off course or a deliberate snub. We know how late it was. Yeah,
it was the latest I've ever boxed in my life. But yeah, and just I feel like the commentary, and you know how boxing is, you know how it goes. So it was a bit of a pill to swallow hearing the sort of the narrative, but they gave me my credit when I earned it, sort of thing. So it was all right in the end.
If you had a bit of pill to swallow, did it make you have any doubts about going back to the same venue, same opponent, same promotion, doing it all again?
Nah. A little bit more experience now. I feel like I've improved. I feel like I'm getting better. So I feel like it'll be the same, but a little bit better this time, is the plan.
But that performance was night and day from the Tyler Denny one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and do you know what, like people say it, but what a blessing in disguise losing to Denny, because I changed so much in my camp after that fight. Like I've mentioned, nutritionist and double down with the mindset coach, and every % I could gain in training I gained. And yeah, the experience I gained from it is put me in this position now. So.
Because you just left a lot of hurt in that ring the first time round, didn't you? Because you just didn't show the best of yourself, and that must be such a frustrating thing. Yeah,
that was probably one of the worst things ever, because you know you could have done better. Terry wasn't happy. That's also something that's horrible, because he knows how good you are, he knows what you can do, and if you don't do it, it's a tough one to take.
Did psychology play a part in your uplift, or was that something you didn't look at?
What, from the Denny fight?
Yeah. You said you looked at all the different percentages.
Yeah.
Was mind coach, psychology, anything like that?
A little bit, yeah, definitely. Coming from a small hall, you can't prepare yourself for nights like that from a small hall. It just doesn't work. You go from boxing in front of 1,000 maybe to 4,000 or 5,000 and all the lights and cameras. You just can't be used to it without doing it. Now that I've done it, there's a bit more experience, a bit more familiar. And yeah, there's a lot more confidence within myself into these bigger fights now, so you'll see the best of me.
Talking of psychology, when your man Terry was telling you had to win whatever last 2 rounds, whatever it was, was that his psychology, or was that genuinely what you believed?
See,
you thought you were ahead.
Yeah. Winning, I think that's Terry's way of saying you're better off winning these 2 rounds. It's close-ish. You better. Terry understands the game. You're the away fighter in the away corner. Don't leave it close where it's up for debate. So make sure you win these last 2 rounds. And yeah, that's his way of just kicking me up the arse and getting me to win them rounds.
The story of the fight, if you like, hate to boil it down this simplistically, but it was close rounds that were nicked one way or the other, and big rounds for you.
Yeah.
And the difference is, as we were saying on the way up here, you don't get any more for that big round than you do for that nicked round, do you? So
Yeah, it's boxing. The early rounds, Nathan maybe just nicked a few off me, and the later rounds I did win. I won him big when I hurt him.
Did you think that was your moment?
Almost had him. Yeah, one more hit I think would have went
You
down.
slept on that a few times, didn't you?
Yeah. But I don't beat myself up about it. As long as I know I did my absolute best, which I think I did, and I'll do the same again.
I mean, this is really, that fight, a draw, even though you're disappointed, you're still a relatively young guy. This is the start of big things for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're still a very fresh middleweight, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. I just turned 31, but I've never felt this good in my life. I feel
You're
like
really 31?
Only 31, coming into my prime. It's weird, like...
Your surfing days will be over soon, won't
I
they?
know. But that's it. I don't drink, I live the life. I've trained my whole life. I've dedicated myself, and genuinely not just saying it, I feel the best I've ever felt, better than when I was 27, do you know what I mean? So just this is the best version of me, so we'll see the best of it on
Last question, because it will come up, I'm sure.
Go on.
Gum shields. You're going to give them a little pot of super glue on the
Yeah, I had a few people ask me to do that for a bit of banter and bring him in some fix a dent and stuff like that, but listen, it's not my style. It is what it is. That happens. Whatever the reason was the reason. It'd be very strange if it happened again. I think that would be wrong.
I think it might be mentioned when the referee comes in the dressing room before the fight, mightn't it?
There's a few things we want to say to the ref with this fight. No holding would be one. But listen, both turn up 100%, the best man win. And
it was received very well, wasn't it, as a fight?
Yeah.
Your own profile and everything must have had an uplift.
Yeah, it seemed like the people enjoyed it, whether you supported me or Nathan. Neutrals enjoyed it, as a lot of the messages I got. And I think that's why it's happening again. If it was a war and fight, I don't think we'd be here. I think the styles gel well. And Frank said to me, he was like, if you box well and you're entertaining, I'll have you back. And he said after the fight, I'll have you back. And here I am. He's a man of his word. So fair play to Frank.
Thank you, Brad, and best wishes to you.
Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.